your PT said you need in that flexibility. So remember, today is called balance, stretch, and strengthen. So we need all of those to work into our fitness level. And I know Shelly said before, should I have my shoes on or off? It really just depends on what you guys want to do. Most of the time in our day, and this may be part of why we're finding ourselves not so balanced, is that we are in shoes a lot of the day. And it really helps sometimes to take those shoes off and just feel your feet on the ground, okay? When you're walking around the house, and then you can get into what are my toes doing to help me balance, to lift, to move, to walk, all right? So again, your choice. So let's go ahead. Let ourselves be in a good mountain pose. Let's make sure we're nicely connected in our core, because that's going to help everything, right? The center place works up and it works down. And as we do, let's take our spine long, take our hands to the chair. And just that is going to start to open up that posterior chain. I want you to take your toes just a little in and your heels a little out. And that is going to open up more of that back side of your body as well into those legs. And then just a slight bend in your knees with an exhale. Inhale, come to lengthen those legs to where it feels right for you. Okay. Exhale, just a little bend. Inhale, go ahead and bring your legs to as straight as you're wanting and able. And I want you to right now then connect your muscle to your bone in your legs. I want you to feel the pulling in of your tissue into the bone, all right? So pressing down more firmly with your feet will allow that. Consciously thinking about drawing in the muscles is going to allow that. And then I want you to let it go. And I want you to bend into those knees again, okay? And then one more time, lift into lengthening. But before we go into anything else, take your chin to your chest and let yourself round at the shoulders. There may be a little bit of rounding in the thoracic spine too, but let your heavy head dangle there. We need to be able to release into the tightness of our neck and shoulders. And then slowly lifting back up again. Then I want you to start to walk just about a foot back. All right, now some of us might be working with some impingement in our shoulder area. So as we keep moving back, some of you, I want you to stay pretty close to your chair, because the farther we walk back, the more our arms are stretching, and some of that is good for some of us, but it might get past the point of comfort for some of you with shoulder stuff that you're working on, okay? So right here, go ahead and just lift onto the toes or onto the balls of your feet and round into yourself. Exhale. Bring your heels down, bend into your knees, let your heart come forward, tailbone rises, inhale. Does this look like cow? Yes, that's what we're doing. Cow, and then straight legs, balls of the feet, curl tuck, round into cat. Yeah. Let your heels come down, bend into those knees, tailbone goes back, head comes up, heart comes forward, and then straighten those legs high on the balls of your feet, curl, tuck, round. You guys got it. Do a few more now, making sure you're matching your breath with that. My exhale takes me up, and my inhale takes me up. My exhale takes me into rounding. Good, and maybe those breaths are coming in and out of the nose Or maybe you're taking your exhale with an open mouth, release. Squeezing as you do into cat, into your thyroid gland, okay? And then letting that thymus come forward. Your heart, let's do 2 more. This repetition will really be good for the flexibility of our spine. Coming up onto the balls of the feet, strengthening for our legs. Good. And then stay with your feet there or walk back another foot or so. Okay, so we're not all stretched out yet and you're still paying attention to what your shoulders tell you. Anytime you guys can come down to your forearms, okay? If your wrists are starting to get to you, in fact, go ahead, come to your forearms and just feel the difference now in the opening of your shoulders, in the opening of your pecs, the opening of the back of your spine and your legs. And then lift up or stay lowered if that is your preference. And then from here, let's go ahead and come high on the balls of the feet and then bend into your knees and come to where you're comfortable coming into a squat. May not be down very far, that's okay. Bring yourself up on the balls of your feet and then lower onto your heels. So you should have your feet in close enough that you can still reach your heels to the ground. Lift on up onto the balls of your feet and go ahead and take yourself into a little bit of a squat. Yeah. Rise on up. So we are strengthening our big muscles here. We'll do 2 more. Our glutes, our quads, our calves. And we are also working on arm strength because you're either on your forearms or on your palms and taking weight from the front part of your body there. Good. One more time, take your hands closer to the edge of your chair, walk back a little bit more, the edge meaning the front edge. And only extending here, again, if your shoulders allow. We are now in a form of down dog. So we move here so it's a little bit more in focus. You guys feel that in the back of your legs? Here we go, Sherry. This is what you asked for. This is what your body needs. You are also lengthening that spine. So we're taking those vertebrae and we're not letting them be so compressed, right? And then from here, step your right foot forward, okay? Bend into that right knee and let the other leg maybe come back a little bit more so you are no longer on your back heel, all right? You're on the ball of that back foot and you can really feel that connection with the ball of your foot there. Look at your front leg and see if you have a knee and an ankle that are lining up nicely. See that your hip, this outside hip, is not turning outward, but coming in towards the seat of the chair. That takes a little more work to bring that back hip forward. So we're already working on some balance because we're on the ball of our foot. So you can stay right here, or you can place one hand more in the center of the chair and lift your other arm forward, up at an angle, or all the way up. You decide. Can also come out to the side. All we're trying to do is take one arm away from that chair. Continue to build strength. Working on balance here as well. We have through 2 points of contact now instead of 3. Go ahead and take that hand back down and release the other hand out, angled, forward, up, all the way up. You guys choose. What does your shoulders say is right for you? Hand comes down. And let's take that front foot back and come into your down dog. So both feet back, nice long spine. Your feet come back just as far as you want to have length in your arms and length in your legs. Take a couple breaths here. Feeling stable, 4 points of contact. And then let's go ahead and raise up, bring your opposite foot forward. So for me, that's my left one. And I'm going to bend into that front knee, aligning my ankle and my knee. Okay, good. High on the ball of my back foot. Finding my hips in alignment as well. Taking my fingertips to the edge of my mat. My chair. And then I'm going to lift one arm up or to the side or out in a V. You decide, but what we're doing is working with our balance. Some of you may have both hands lifted up, step by step. You should feel a nice opening in the front part of your hip flexor. That's going to help us keep balanced as well. Go ahead and let that hand come down. The other hand lifts, or you've got both arms up, keeping shoulders forward, hips forward, working on that smile of strengthening into our legs. Yeah, hand down. Let's bring that front foot back and find your down dog expression here. Good. Walk those feet forward. And we're going to rise up. And we're going to practice a little bit either with or without the chair. So what I mean by that is have it available in case you need it. All right. But we're going to do some lifting of our legs. And that chair is going to be there if we need it. Okay. But I also want you to, take that balance challenge a bit. So let's go ahead and begin to just lift up and down on the balls of our feet. Okay, maybe. Shelly, your balance is really improving. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm noticing.
I'm getting it back. I used to
getting it
get
back.
comments about my balance all the time,
All right, yay.
so it's coming back.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but Shelly said her balance is coming back. She felt that in the past she used to have it more and she'd have comments about, oh, you've got great balance. It's coming back. All right, good. And now let's march. And marching, maybe you don't need the hands on your chair. Marching is basically a form of dance, right? We're moving our feet back and forth. When you march to music, you're marching to that rhythm. And now let's go ahead and let our hips start to move as well. I'm going to move my chair just because I'll use it if I need it. Let your hips kind of turn too, okay? So we're marching and we're letting our hips get involved. So take your hands to the points of your hips and notice if you can get them to move with your march. Good. And then let your hands go. Shake out your legs, shake out your body. And let's take our feet just apart a bit, wider than shoulder width. And let's take some circles with our hips. We just did a lot of kind of strength bearing there. And let's free our bodies a bit here with a little bit of movement for flexibility, right? What are we getting flex? What are we flexing here or getting it to have more flexibility? That's our hips, right? Getting, and let's go around the other way, because they get stiff and tight. And our hip sockets are meant to be able to move at 360 degrees. Right? And we'll talk about the big A word, arthritis, and then the cold weather setting in. Let's try to fight that. And now with wider legs, let's start to march. So picking up those feet. Maybe it's just an inch or two. Sometimes you may need to hold on to that chair. Maybe taking hands at your hips will help you feel a little bit more balanced. Take hands to shoulders now and see if that changes anything for you. Take hands up. See if that changes anything for you in terms of balance. And take them straight out. And then place feet down, take hands right here. And I'm going to place one foot directly under my hip. I'm going to turn out that other foot and I'm going to pick it up, all right? So I'm really taking the strength here on this leg and I'm picking up the other. This is going to prepare us for our next balance challenge, and that's going to be Warrior 3 with the chair. You can keep doing this. If you feel like you want to bring that foot up and really press down into the standing leg to find your balance and let it come down when you need, let it come up and relax it. Good, go ahead and shake that out so we can do the other side. Taking weight into this leg now, all the way down, pulling in muscle to bone. I'm gonna go ahead and open up here, kind of look like a little, what are those little fairies or little elves or those little mini people that do the little dances, right? Kind of coming up here.
Gnomes.
Gnomes, are they gnomes that dance around, dance and prance? Yeah, and when and if you feel like it, picking that up, maintaining some balance here with your drishti, your gaze forward at one place, it's not moving. And placing that down. Good. And then go ahead and separate a little bit more. So those of you guys can be on the carpet, on your mat, any place that feels good. And we're gonna go and take our toes out, heels in, and we're going to bend into one knee and come up onto the ball of the other foot, okay? And then come back kind of in a little squat, come over, straighten onto the ball of one foot. Yeah, you got it. Come back into that little squat. Good. And just take it at your own rhythm. Shifting our body weight from one side to the other. Coordinating our movements. But still feeling pretty connected and pretty balanced here. Can come down as low or high as you want on the squat. Come down as high or low as you want on raising your heel off the ground. And then come back into center, squat on down. Let's work for some strength. Arms rise up, inhale. And we're gonna switch around goddess. Usually goddess is like this. Okay, we're going to take hands up when our knees are bent, and we're going to straighten our legs and bring our arms like this. Okay, so inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good, Shell. Breathe so you can hear it. Either doing that ujjayi breath that comes to the back of your throat, constricted throat breath, or taking an inhale here and an exhale out of your mouth. using that sense of hearing. That's going to help you get through tough times. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Good. Take your hands down. Everybody warming up a little bit? Yeah. Shelley's stripping. I have my longer one under, so it's not so easy for me to strip. Let's take that chair back and turn it to the
Julie?
front. Yes.
Would you repeat what you just were saying about the breath? Take the breath. There was something about the throat.
Ujjayi breath. That's when we kind of slightly constrict the back of your throat.
Uh-huh. Okay. I thought that's what you were saying to do.
And
Cool.
it sounds like a Darth Vader breath, right? I don't have my mouth open. I'm continuing to breathe in and out through my nose, but it's this constriction back here that helps me to hear my own breath. If you're ever practicing around someone that does that, I like it, but some people, they feel bothered by it, but it really means that person is internalizing and really working with their breath.
Well, it
So
feels like it's strengthening something through there too.
yes, it does that as well. You got it.
I was doing that. Okay, thank you.
Asking, yeah. All right, guys, so let's turn this back towards us this time. Sorry for the bad instruction. Low side here, because now we're going to take our balance a little bit further. And then after that, we'll start calming ourselves down just a bit, okay? So from here, remember what we were just doing, right? Let's go ahead and lower back down. And then again, walk back to where your arms and shoulders feel like you're okay in that. So the closer you are to the chair, the less you have to open up through the shoulders, okay? Some of us are working on healing those areas, so please don't overdo it. All right, now go ahead and take your right foot forward. And we're starting kind of like we did before. Front knee is bent. We're on the ball of that back foot. But then we're going to bring our body weight forward and straighten that front leg and lift the back leg. Now, some of you, maybe here, 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 do not go any farther than your hip height, okay? And then the hip is going to want to turn out. Let's turn it back downward towards the chair, okay? Yeah, that's harder. And one thing that helps me is I turn my toes in and my heel out. And this is a step towards warrior 3. If you want, stay right here, bring muscle to bone on that standing leg. And if you want, you can take the right arm forward, bicep by your ear, stretching from fingertips to your heel. And then let that hand come down, bend into your standing leg, place the back foot behind you and bring the front foot back. Find your down dog, exhale. Take a couple breaths here, knowing, and I know some of us might not feel like it, but down dog is restorative. It is a place to rest between some of the more challenging things that we do. And then bring yourself back up. This time the left foot comes forward. Let's start like we had before. Front knee bent over above that ankle, the left side, high on the ball of that back foot. And then straighten the front leg and begin to lift that back one up. And first we lift it and then hips turn out. Let's turn it in, toes in, heel out. Strengthening that standing leg, working on balance because I am now on 3 points of contact. When I lift my left arm up, I'm on 2 points of contact. If you feel your body is ready to do that, please do. Bicep by your ear, press through that heel, pull through your fingers, lengthen that spine, hand down, bend into that front knee, place the back foot down, and the front foot comes back, find down dog, exhale. Good. All right, walk on back towards that chair, bend into your knees slightly, come on up, inhale, upward salute. Pull your elbows down, let the heart and the hips expand and open, and let your happy heart breathe towards the heavens. And then bring yourself up. And exhale, slowly taking hands down. Good. We're going to do one more big balancer, but before we do that, let's do a little bit more in our strengthening, okay? And then we're going to just do a little flowing, and then we're going to do that last balance challenge, and then we'll come to the chair. Woo, yay. All right, let's start in mountain pose first. We're going to come in and out of chair pose, and we're not going to use the chair for that, right? Our arms come up, we inhale. We bend into our knees. That squat is whatever feels right for you. And these arms can come here or to your hips because we're really working the legs right now. The arms just help to lengthen the side body, okay? Inhale up. This time, exhale, bend knees and come into cactus arms. Straighten up here, maybe arms lift, or they come to the tops of your shoulders. Take them out. Bend into your knees, tailbone comes back. Rise on up. Exhale, arms come out. Bring yourself up. Exhale, arms come down. Take your right under your left. Make that X come here, 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 or do your double twist. Maybe you come down a little bit more in your eagle arms and you lift up, inhale. And exhale, bend and release. Whew. Lift up. And come on down, left under right this time. Take it here, 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 lower. Rise up, inhale. Looks good, you guys. Exhale down. Release and on out. Bring yourself up. And exhale, hands come down. Stand and breathe in the mountain. Mountain also is a really nice place to come and rest. Anytime in any of this practice, you guys can come to the chair, you can come to mountain, you do what feels right for you, okay? We're going to be standing a little bit more and then we're going to get to the chair. Let's go ahead and we're going to combine goddess with eagle and we're going to become a swaying piece of seaweed. Rise arms up, bend into your knees, exhale, right under left. Come into here and begin to move in any way that you want, low, high. Letting your head go. Think about all your joints right now. And what can I do to release a little bit more? Maybe to lengthen a little bit more. To sway a little bit more. And bringing myself up, straight arms. Release. Arms lift. Exhale into that squat, left under right, finding hands here, 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 here. Any place it feels like we're able to open the shoulders just a bit and we begin to move. So I don't know if you can hear me out there, but I'm using my Ujjayi breath. Squatting down, rising up, inhale. Release arms. Rise up, inhale. Exhale down. Let's heel toe or walk our feet back in. Let's march out our legs just a bit here. And let's see if we can plant one foot down, lift the front one up. Last time we took it out to the side. Let's just see if we can lift it up. Know where your chair is. Know how your arms can help you with that balance where we place them right here. Okay. Now I'm going to add a challenge to this, and any of you out there just keep doing this or in here, okay? If you have this, you want a little challenge, you can take one hand behind you, the other arm in front of you, really setting off that weight exchange and your wavering a little bit more here. And then take your hands back to center, place your foot down, walk it up. When we walk out, our hips move. So let your hips move. Those of you that are able to come tonight, you can get some hip moving in our Just Dance class that Viola is offering. Go ahead and press into my left foot now, my opposite foot. And I'm going to pick up my foot and I'm going to hold it there while I pull in your knee muscles together there, strengthening this leg. Okay. And then those of you that want, one arm back, one arm forward, or maybe this hand is on a chair. Okay. Determination, focus, concentration. Go ahead and let everything come back. Standing mountain. Maybe shake your mountain a little bit, be a volcano. Just don't need to explode right now. All right, we're gonna do one more big balancer, okay? You can do either of what we just did. And the two big balances that we did, let me review those for you so you know which one you can come to. We did this one, probably the easiest one here, but it may not feel like it, where we had one or both arms up in our high lunge, okay? You can do that, or you can come here into your warrior three, or you can do what we're going to do, and that's going to be open up into half moon. Shelley, you've done this at the wall. We're going to do it on the chair, okay? So if you guys want to turn, like Shelley, you might want to turn your chair. I just want you to be able to see me.
Okay.
That way, okay?
So stand in front of it.
You're going to be standing right here. Okay, and we're gonna go this way. Okay, Mark, my hand back. I'm gonna take you and shoot you this. Okay. And let's see, what would be better? I think you'll be okay right there, right? And you'll stand. I'm gonna turn it so I can see you. There we go. Yeah. All right, guys. So again, please repeat either one of those others, or if you're done with this, sit and do some of our chair yoga stretches, okay? We're getting there though. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and begin just like we had before. You're right, Pam. I'm going to take my left foot back, leave my right one forward. Okay. And then I'm going to straighten that front leg, and I'm going to lift my back leg up as if I were doing my warrior three. Now my right foot is forward. I'm going to take my right hand to the center of the chair. I'm going to begin to take my toes outward and open up my hip now. So before we kept our toes down, open up your hip to the outside. So turn your toes outward, Mark. The back toes. Feel this way. Yes, yes. Okay, so you feel that opening in your hip? Only if you want, you can lift your left hand to your hip. But don't try it if, doesn't feel safe. We want to be safe. This is still safe. 2 hands down, twisted and open. That's a challenge. Hand up or at hip. You are now in half moon pose. Okay. There we go. Put it on down and work on that other side. Okay. So we'll leave our left foot forward. Bring the right foot back. Find yourself in warrior 3. Right, and then left hand down, open up your hip. Keep both hands down and maybe just turn your gaze to the right. That's going to challenge your balance. Or you can take your right hand to your hip and work to open it in that direction. Hand down, gaze down, feet down, both feet in, high in the balls of your feet, curl into yourself. Like we did earlier, bend into your knees, let your heart come forward like we did earlier. Rise on up, balls of your feet, curl and tuck and round and feel that all the way into your spine. Back down, bend knees, look up. And then bring ourselves back. Standing up in mountain. Good. How'd you guys do out there? You can tell me afterwards, but I hope you were able to do part of that. We're going to go back into the chair. So if you guys want to turn your chair this way, but I want to show you guys that are here and then Zoom what Shelly's done before and what you might want to try at home. Okay, only if you feel like it. And I'm going to do it with a chair, and then I'm going to do it with a block. So this is just kind of a demo. You guys don't need to be doing this. But this opening that we did is really it feels really good, right? So I've got the chair there, and I can take my hand on the chair and do just what I just did. Lift my leg, open up. You've got the support of the wall, you got the support of the chair, and you can lift here or you can lift here. Okay, hand here. Or you can do what Shelly's doing right now. She's doing it with the block. And that just has us lower ourselves a little bit more. But I'm really got my connection with the wall, my hip and my shoulder, and now my heel, and now my arm are right here.
Now I feel complete.
Now she feels complete. Good. And then some people take both arms off the ground, okay? So try those if you like, okay? And Shelly just did.
Sorry.
No, I'm glad you did. I know you like it. Feels good, doesn't it? It feels to me like I'm flying, like I'm able to really just disconnect from being on the earth and trust this wall. All right, guys, go ahead and get into your chair. Denise Coleman, I know, is saying, oh my God, thank goodness. So let's go ahead and have blocks next to us too, because we'll be utilizing those. Sit up straight and tall. Spine away from the back of the chair, eyes can close, and we're just going to bring ourselves back into a little state of homeostasis here, where our blood pressure, our breathing, our pulse come back into normal state. Because I don't know about you guys, but my pulse rate definitely got up during that practice, which is good. We need that too. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and do reaching down to one block. And you can take that at any level you want, but I want you to be supported here, okay? So one block, hand here on hip, or you slide it up to shoulder, Those of you that don't have any, catching here in your shoulder, you want to release that arm up and stretch here. Take a look down at the hand and the block. Let's get into our necks a little bit. Take a look forward. And then take a look up. With your gaze and that upper arm, bring yourself back up. Hands here, sit for 2 breaths in mountain. This opening up of the side body is really good for our ribs, for our digestive system, for lengthening those vertebrae so they don't feel so compressed on one another, to help give us our height back. Take your hand here on the block, slide the other one up to hip as you pull that upper shoulder back just a bit. And maybe hand comes to shoulder. Maybe elbow raises up. Maybe arm releases. You take it to where it feels right for you. Take a look down, exhale. Take a look to the center. Take a look on up. And go ahead and release that hand, coming on back down. Bringing our body back up. Take hands right up by your hips, slide across your thighs, down your shins. Keep a straight spine here. Find length in your spine and the depth that your body's allowing you to go. But really find that length. We're not compressing and letting our heads fall lower than our hearts yet, okay? So we're not in quite a forward fold. This is more like a half lift. Bring your hands back up. Take them back towards your hips. Press down there and open up your heart and bring those elbow points back as you look up. Good. Nice opening here. Nice release. And then straight spine. Follow those hands on back forward, keeping that long spine. So your depth will just depend on your anatomy, your flexibility, all of that. And then once we've held this for 2 more breaths, I want you to go ahead and let your heavy head go if you feel comfortable with your head lower than your heart, okay? So that might mean your hands come to the feet or to the ground. And now we are rounded. Now our head is let go. Our breathing is a little bit congested here. And now I want you to roll up like a rag doll. So we're going to stay rounded as long as we can. So just the opposite of the way we came forward with a straight spine. I want you to have those shoulders and arms heavy, chin at chest, rounding up slowly, 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 and beginning when it's time to stack one vertebrae on top of the other until you feel like now it's time for my cervical spine to come into alignment, and I lift my chin and take a couple breaths. That really is the only way you should come out of head forward, is really slow, okay? So you don't want to get a head rush and all of that. Let's take our left foot inside a little bit and cross right over. If that isn't appropriate for you or something that you're able to do, take your ankle on a block, just like that, all right? Otherwise, we have this kind of connection of 2 internally rotated legs. Some of you, I know Lydia, used to take and do a double twist down here. If you want, go for that as well, okay? I want you guys, this is a spectrum. Find your place on that spectrum. Sitting up straight and tall, let's take ourselves into a twist. So my top leg is my right leg. I'm going to hold on with my right hand to some portion of that leg. My left hand comes behind me. I find length. That left hand can come to the chair base or to the chair back or to the leg of the chair. Find something to leverage and then start to look back over that back shoulder. And then begin to slowly release, coming back forward, coming out of that spiral. And let's reverse, taking the opposite hand across, still keeping legs crossed. We'll reverse those in a minute, but just reverse the direction of your twist, still keeping it long. Twists really are good to do after we've done those hanging postures, just to get and relieve some of that tension in the lower back. Go ahead and come back forward and let's flip those legs and find your cross or your double cross. Squeezing here. This is really good for the urogenital system as well. I'm going to take same hand as the top leg, cross it over, hand behind me, sitting up straight and tall. Then I go from my hips on up to look over that back shoulder. And slowly unwind out of that. Finding the opposite arm crossing over, hand behind me, pressing down, lift through spine and take a look. Coming out of it again. Whew. Let's go ahead and open up now into external rotation. Take those feet apart, toes out, heels in. Blocks can be used if you like. We're going to do a little bit of extended side angle. So take one forearm to your thigh, or you can take it to a block on the inside of your foot, okay? So either here, or yeah. And Pam, you might want to do this. So that gives you a little more height, because I know that wrist isn't something, yes. And then you can come onto your forearm there, or your forearm here, or your hand here, okay? Yeah, if you're gonna use your hand, may not be better to block. All right, so here we are. And let's go ahead, stretch that other arm up and take it all the way over this time, or maybe again, just to our shoulder. Find where that elbow wants to lift to. Find where that arm wants to expand to. Breathing here. And then bring ourselves up with arms coming out straight from our shoulders. Before we go to the other side, let's take 4 big circles forward here, coming into those chest muscles. And reversing. And then coming over to the other side again, forearm on our thigh or hand on our block. And taking the other arm to hip, to shoulder, elbow may rise, maybe arm lifts, maybe bicep comes by ear. Those are all steps along the spectrum. Okay. Breathing. And rising back up, having those arms stretched out. This time, come over to the other side and let's let this arm just take freedom. Take whatever freedom it wants. And reverse. And we are working into that circulatory system too. Anytime we lift our hands above our heart has to work harder. And then switch. Over to the other side, take your hand, arm, shoulder, elbow, a little circles here. And reversing that. And rising up. And let's walk our feet together or into mountain pose. So we're at hips distance. Everything's lined up. Take a look at those feet parallel to one another. Find ankles under knees, find knees right at hips, find hips stacked under shoulders. Let your hands expand and open up. A few breaths here. Let's just take a few circles with the shoulders, bring them up and back. Inhale, lifting them. Exhale, pulling them back. Drawing them back. And then let's do the opposite. Slowing down our pace here. Arms lifting, interlacing, and maybe that's here, pushing away wherever you get, bringing those arms forward. Let length happen in your arms, let your shoulders open here. And then rising up and expanding and releasing. Exhale down. Just going to do some arm sun salutations to end class. Lift on an inhale. Exhale, hands come into prayer. Send them into heart center, bowing down. Inhale, lifting those arms, those hands, letting them release. Coming down on an exhale. Lift on an in-breath. Exhale. Down. One more set. Drawing this circle of energy around us. Coming to heart center. Anjali Mudra here. Take a bow down towards your own heart, your own true teacher, your guide. It's been beating for you 9 months before you were born, or whenever that heart starts beating. It's pretty soon though. And congratulations to Denise, who has a new grand baby boy. So from my heart to all of your beating hearts, thank you for your presence.